Mike, and welcome to Retro Boost. I recently got my one-chip Super Nintendo modded by RetroFixes, had it sent out, the RGB mod installed, system cleaned up, sent back to me, talked about that whole process, showed the internals of the system, showed the mod, the board on the motherboard of the system, and showed gameplay and comparisons using the RetroTINK 4K Pro. This time it's all about the 5X Pro, and that's the scaling device that I had in my possession when I first learned about the mods for the Super Nintendo. So this day has been a long time coming. For years I was thinking about having this done, and I have sent out systems to RetroFixes and also to Voltar as well. So I talked about the RetroFixes one, and I want to do that again today, but for the 5X Pro. And it's pretty crazy. Like, the Super Nintendo kind of specifically has gone through so much in my collection, so many advances and changes. What started with me using the 2-chip system with composite with my 2X Pro way back when I was first making content on the channel, and then getting the 5X Pro and using S-Video here and there, and then getting HT Retrovision's component cables, getting retro gaming cables, SCART cables for the first time since the 5X Pro allowed that, and using all that, and then getting a one-chip system, and now getting that one-chip system modified. So many things have led to today's video, and it's exciting because it's like, man, there's not really anything else I can do as far as improving the fidelity of what my Super Nintendo can do now, right? I mean, like, there's other things to play around with. There's still the SNES Junior, I guess, on the table. But as far as the regular system goes, I mean, what else can I do, right? So gameplay-wise, like the quality is really great, and I love what this mod does for the systems. And again, big thanks to RetroFixes for this particular SNES being used for this video and my previous one. Great work, very happy with it. It's really cool. And like I said, like, now we're seeing kind of like this is the peak performance of what the 5X Pro can do. So I want to show some comparisons, because before I had it sent out, I did some before footage and after footage, and it is really incredible, like, how much can change, even with the one-chip system already being, like, you know, sought after for its higher quality, although that comes at some costs, and that's what the mod process will fix for you, fixing ghosting the center line, leveling off and making the colors more natural from their oversaturated default levels that the system outputs. But what does that look like for the 5X Pro? Well, let's check it out. So I got a couple of examples here. Different profiles with the 5X Pro, default and Super Nintendo specific, plus, just to break it up some, 512 sampling from Kirby, plus some Scanline stuff, like a standard Scanline preset, the aperture grill one, and also with HDR enabled. So a variety of examples here to show you before and after modded Super Nintendo, but with the 5X Pro. Enjoy. thinking? Well, I'm thinking it looks awesome. It's really cool. Like, the colors post modification are much more natural and like better. I want to use the word more vivid, which is funny because like the problem with the base one chip is that it looks kind of too vivid on its own. But when you get the system modded and show them side by side, it almost looks dull by comparison. Like the blue sky in the Kirby examples and in the background of Super Mario World both just look dull on the pre-modded side. With that said, this stuff on its own looks fantastic. Even if you have a standard non-one chip Super Nintendo, combining that with S-Video and using a device like the RetroTINK 2X Mini or 2X Pro, 5X Pro, etc., looks great. This is just how much farther you can take it. Like I said, we're kind of at the peak now of like, I've done all I can think to do at this point to see what is possible with these devices and cables, and here we are, and I'm very impressed. So if you have a one chip system, I would say eventually get it modded. You could do it yourself, or you could have it sent off like I did with RetroFixes and have done with Voltar as well. And when I get my system back for Voltar, I'm definitely gonna do the same kind of video for that, because they're two different systems that I had sent out. So this is footage before and after with the one for RetroFixes. I've done the same thing for the one that I sent to Voltar. So got all that in the bank and ready to go when I get my system back from that source. So there we have it. Taking a look at the modded SNES experience by RetroFixes using the RetroTINK 5X Pro. Didn't really specify, but this was done with my current console setup where the console is outputting SCART, goes into a SCART switch. That just frees up inputs on my Extron system. That is then connected to an RGB to comp to then use HT Retrovision's component cables that then find their way to the 5X Pro in this case. I'm working on a revision to this where I just totally separate the stuff. SCART becomes like its own pathway, and then components going through the Extron stuff. That's kind of the whole idea. That's why I'm working on getting two SNESs modded, so one can always be hooked up with component, so that I can break out the 2X Pro easily, and then also one can be SCART for the 5X Pro and the RetroTINK 4K. So that's all stuff that's in the works. Hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you want more info on the mod process itself and seeing more of that, check out the video I did talking about that using the RetroTINK 4K Pro. All the info is in that one. But thank you so much for joining me, and have a great rest of your day.